Here's your Unit 4 Ideologies and Beliefs Study Guide. Quickly, political socialization. It's your background traits and how they influence your political views. A public opinion poll are used by politicians, interest groups, media to survey public opinion, what people are thinking. You need a large enough sample size. The margin of error must be below 5, around 3 is fine. And you should not include misleading questions. We sample errors when a poll is tested in multiple locations at the same time. They look at the difference between those two and the results. A sample size must be large enough. Again, a survey can get a large number of people, maybe 10,000 people, but usually around 1,000 to 1,100 people is a good sample size when looking at a certain population. Random sample is very important. Selecting from a population, making it an equal opportunity, equal probability that different people are being selected. A push poll is a way to influence public opinion when phrasing a question, putting something negative or positive to sway them and make them lean in one way or the other. Fiscal policy, again, the three things: taxing, spending, budget. It's managing the economy. This is done by the legislative and executive branch, versus the monetary policy is managing the economy by altering the supply of money. So managing the economy through taxes is fiscal. Altering the supply of money through interest rates and looking at inflation. This is done by the Federal Reserve Board, and that's the monetary policy. They're looking at two types of economics here. Keynesian economics is your belief that government must manage the economy by spending more. So this is more of a liberal argument, and it's done in recessions, and then they also like to cut spending when there's inflation. And then there's a supply side, which is more of a conservative policy: lower taxes, have less regulations. They hope to stimulate the economy that way. A couple key questions for the unit. Some of the most important factors in your political socialization of children. Number one is family. The second one would be school. The main purpose of monetary policy, again, is to regulate the money supply. Children with parents with strong party loyalty tend to identify with the same party as their parents. The demographic that supports the Democratic Party most consistently is the African Americans. Presidential approval ratings are usually highest right after elections. Sometimes the ratings go up after certain political events, kind of like 9/11. And the period after a presidential election that is known as the honeymoon period. Okay, again, some of your key essential questions from Unit 4. You can look at how American political beliefs are formed and change over time. They're formed usually family and school, but then slowly over time, more education you get, they're formed, experiences and exposure to media, and these opinions then will change. Political ideology and values can influence government policy making. They play a huge role, especially when looking at social issues in policy making, based on beliefs, maybe customs and traditions. Help formulate their own opinion on how you feel about government, whether or not government should or should not address an issue or respond to certain issues. So how much government involvement can be affected by your political ideology.